This podcast is being recorded and produced on Gadigal land.
We pay our respects to the traditional custodians of this country and elders past, present.
We extend our respect to any First Nations, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people joining us today.
Always was, always will be Aboriginal land.
I'm Brittney Saunders.
And I'm alright, hey, and this is High Scrollers, the podcast version of your favourite group chat.
If it's trending, going viral or has you gripped, we're talking about it. Coming up on this episode, I'm back. I mean, I was only gone for a week, but I've had a lot of questions. Where were you? What happened? I'm giving you the exclusive gossip, and it's probably not what you think.
Plus, I've ticked a big item off my bucket list. It's been a very exciting week for me. I can't wait to tell you what's happened.
And I got plastic surgery and I regret it. And I'm here to tell you the story.
And a restaurant in the US has clapbacked to a customer, and I am here for it. They have dragged her through the mud, and I'm going to tell you what happened. All that and more coming up on this episode of High Scrollers. Deal me in, doll. Let's go.
Good morning, Matthew.
Good morning. Morning.
Did you miss me?
Yeah, I did. You know, I got a message from one of our scrollers the other day actually calling me out, calling me a hypocrite.
Why?
Saying I should be cancelled.
Why?
Saying death to all right, hey. No, I'm just kidding. Because she did bring up a good point about me rolling my eyes at you saying good morning.
Why?
Because I have said that me walking into a room and saying good morning.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Actually the perfect way to
Thank you
see
so
if someone
much.
is a vibe or not. And
Thank
she
you
was
so much to whoever that is, because I remember that.
She was like, what's the deal, doll? And I was like, okay, first of all, in my opinion, it's a little different.
Why? Because it's me and we're in this studio.
Yeah, no, but also I just feel like your good morning is more like you're addressing a kindergarten class.
Good
like we're in
morning,
school.
Matthew.
Yeah, whereas my good morning, it's camp, you know?
I feel like we've gone too far with the good mornings now that it's here to stay.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't feel the same if I didn't say
you
it.
know what?
So.
I might be coming around to it, to be honest.
Ooh.
I might be a changed man.
Well, I saw last week Star said it in my place, didn't
Yes.
she? Yeah, so even she likes it and she's clued onto it.
Yep, and started so well. Thanks for all the feedback, scrollers, on our first ever, replacement guest for the week. Everybody seemed to love Star. So
Well, I'll tell you what, I said to AJ last week, actually, I'm surprised that we've been doing High Scrollers for 1 year. And that is our first time that one of us couldn't be here. Like, I'm surprised. That's fucking dedication.
Yep.
That is every Monday for over a year. Not one of us has ever been sick or anything. Touch wood.
Yeah.
But I'm back, and sorry for my absence, everyone.
And why were you absent?
Well, wait, before I say this, is Craig David cancelled?
Who the hell is Craig David?
He's not? Okay, so we can talk about him. You know, there's so many singers and artists and shit that are cancelled, so I didn't want to bring him up. But he has a song.
Even if he is cancelled, who cares?
He has a song, Feels Like Insomnia.
Love
feels
that
like
shit.
Insomnia. Well, that's my theme song soundtrack to my life.
Yep.
I don't know what's going on exactly, but over the last few months, I have been... Okay, so when you're a female, you pay attention to your body and your cycle, and we have these apps on our phone, Matt. Like, I've got the Flow app, shout out, and basically, when you're a woman, like, your body is like clockwork. Like, you will know certain things. Anyway, I don't want to get too much into it because it's kind of boring for you.
I don't care.
Oh, okay, you like it.
Well, our listeners are like 90% female.
Okay, well, all of you know, okay?
Right.
Like, you know, especially when you're tracking your cycle on these apps, like, you'll wake up and feel really fucking angry one day, and then you'll look at where you are in your cycle and you're like, oh, this makes sense. Like, it's like clockwork the way our bodies are. So anyway, with these apps, you can put in any symptoms. And I feel like when you're a female, you have a symptom every fucking day, whether it's like anger, rage, really hungry, stressed out, annoyed, whatever. So over the last couple of months, around the same time in my cycle between my period ending and my period starting, I've been going through a phase, a phase where I can't fucking sleep. And so every time I have this, what feels like insomnia, I've been like tracking it and putting it in my app so that when it comes around again every month, I'm like, it's the same thing again. So anyway, to put it in a nutshell, I've been having the last few months these certain phases where I can't fucking sleep, and usually it's I wake up at about 2 a.m. and then can't get back to sleep for hours. And like, have you ever felt like you have insomnia where you're laying there and your eyes are tired, so you shut your eyes, but then your brain is like raging and racing because that's what I've been experiencing for months. And I can only put it down to it being a hormonal thing because it happens every single time. And usually I just am up in the night for 3 hours. I finally get back to sleep for an hour. I wake up and I go, whatever, I fucking do the day, even though I've had like 3 hours of broken sleep. But last Sunday night, because we record on a Monday, I pulled it all fucking nighter. Like usually I'm just up for 3 hours in the night. This time I didn't get to sleep at all. And I'm like, fuck. And I was messaging Matt because sometimes you're up really late.
Yeah.
But that was the one night that you must have went to bed early. So I was messaging Matt like every 2 to 3 hours going, I haven't fucking slept. And then it was like 2 a.m. and then it was 4 a.m. And I'm sending Matt messages like, SOS, what the fuck is going on? He got to like 5 or 6 a.m. and I'm like, fuck this. I just felt like a scatterbrain.
Yeah.
You know when you haven't slept and you feel like a scatterbrain? And so I just message and I'm like, guys, this is what's happened tonight. I'm so sorry, but I don't trust myself. I would have been fine driving to Sydney, I reckon, and recording here. But then driving home, I don't know. I was like, I just haven't slept. Can someone fucking help me?
And you know what's so weird? It's like meant to be because that day I randomly was up at 6 a.m, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Because I planned to go to breakfast in the city anyway and then go for a walk and then come to do the podcast because usually I wake up, I'm in the shower, I've put clothes on, I'm out the door and I'm rocking up to the podcast studio with 1 minute to spare.
Yes.
And this one particular day, it was like the stars were aligned. I was like, I'm up at 6 a.m.
And you went to bed early that night and I'm like,
I know.
I've got your sleeping pattern passed on to me. I'll tell you what's funny. That day, like I thought, okay, I'm going to stay home. I'm not going to go to work. I'm going to sleep. I couldn't sleep that whole day and then I couldn't sleep that night. And then my fucked sleeping went on for the next however many nights. And it was Thursday night last week that I finally slept all the way through. And I've slept good all weekend and last night. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then I think I need to start like taking some vitamins and like magnesium or things like that. But I feel like I always try to do that and like take good vitamins and whatever, but then I just forget. And it got me thinking, this is a great business for like some doctor out there or whatever. Imagine if maybe you can, going and getting like once a month an injection that has magnesium, this, that, blah, 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 blah. Like how good would that be?
And then you don't have to take tablets every day.
Yes, like why, is that a thing? Because I know you can go and get like a vitamin
thing.
Yeah, like whatever, or like a vitamin B shot. But is there one where you can just go and get like a multivitamin injected in that lasts all month? Like that is $1 billion business idea. Surely it's a thing, but I've never heard anyone going and doing that. A multivitamin shot, magnesium and all the good stuff. I need to do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, moral of the story is I've been having shocking fucking sleeps.
Welcome to my life. And you hate it. See, I love it.
You love not sleeping.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind if
I love
I
my
had
brain.
lived here. Like I just would have come in and like done the record, but I was like, I'm not driving 4 hours on no sleep.
Yeah. No, I love when my brain is like going 100 miles an hour.
No, I hate it.
do.
Then I'm listening to brown noise, white noise, meditation things. I'm like, I'll read something online and like you feel like you've got ready to fall asleep, but as soon as you close your eyes, it's like you're so awake.
You should start reading.
Oh,
Because it clears your mind and reading also, if I'm already tired, reading makes me so tired that I like can't keep my eyes open.
I need to.
And then I always, as soon as I stop reading, I know I'm asleep in 10 seconds. Like it's amazing. Because you can't focus on anything else but what you're reading.
Yeah.
For the most part anyway. Well, it's good to have you back.
Yeah, I'm back and I've been sleeping good for like the last 4 nights. So
Yeah. Well, regardless of not sleeping well, did you have a good week?
no.
Oh, okay.
Like I did. It was a regular week. But you know, when you're sleeping is so, I mean, I work full time and work with all staff. So it's actually so fucking annoying to try and be normal when I've been having the worst sleep ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was still good. Like good week regardless. And I finally had that good sleep on Thursday night. I woke up on Friday morning, said, AJ, I slept all the way through. And I was like so fucking excited. So yeah, that's the highlight of my...
You basically like had a bender without like any of the substances.
Yeah, just absolutely raging for no reason.
Yeah.
So I love that. I've put it all in my app and let's see if it happens again that same time next month.
Oh, keep us updated.
Yeah.
Doll. Well, I'm so happy because I ticked something huge off my bucket list this week. I'm sorry you had a bad week, but
It wasn't bad. I don't want to say that, but it's just annoying. Like you can't function on no sleep. Anyway, yeah continue.
I ticked something big off my bucket list, and that is that I felt my first ever earthquake. Oh my God.
Yes, what the fuck happened there?
Oh my God, it was camp. It was so camp. So did you feel either of them? Because there were actually multiple, but there were two big ones.
No, so that day, so that was on Friday last week, I just so happened to be driving around all day and I was in the Fate-mobile.
So
and that's quite like rocky. So I'm guessing at the time that it happened, we were on the road driving and didn't feel it at all. And then all the girls in the warehouse and office were like, oh my God, did everyone feel that? I'm like, what? Feel what?
Yeah. So there was the first one, which was a big one, like 5 point something magnitude, big one.
And this was in Muswellbrook, which is like 2 hours in from Newcastle.
Yeah. And then there was a second one, I think
Saturday?
either the next day or the day after. There'd been a few
Saturday
small ones.
night, I think. Or,
and
Friday
so it was
night.
the second one that I felt.
Oh.
And it was at like 4:30. I messaged all my friends and was like, did anyone feel the earthquake? And everyone gaslit me and was like, no, babe, there was nothing. I was like, oh, must have been some construction downstairs or something then, no worries. And then the news thing came out like a few hours later saying there was another one at 4:30 p.m. And it was a 2 point something magnitude. And that's the one I felt. And it was so surreal because I was like, in bed at the time and it just felt like I was like swaying on a boat. And I mean, we're in a high-rise apartment and we're quite high up. So I was like, thinking it might have been like a construction or something when everyone was like, no, that didn't happen. But it actually did. And I have felt an earthquake, which is like a bucket list moment for me. Like I'm like, tick it off because sorry to be that person. And like, I don't want to come across as like insensitive, but like, God, I love it's actually, no, that's the wrong word. No, maybe I can't say this.
Well, you're going to say you were glad to live through a natural disaster.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
Like, no, what, like, I don't think I love, but I think I'm really fascinated by natural disasters.
Well, you know, in like LA and California, have you seen like people on TikTok just making TikToks and there's just an earthquake happening, but that's so normal to them.
Yeah.
They're just like, whatever, it's just an earthquake.
Yeah.
They have them all the time. Well, AJ should be really glad about this too because in 1989,
here we go. We're a history podcast now. Fucking hell, we do everything I really love.
In 1989, which is the year that AJ was born, there was a massive earthquake in Newcastle, but it was actually like big and quite devastating. AJ has always joked and said like he lived through it and he survived kind of thing, but he was literally in the cot, like not even one. So now he can say he's lived and survived 2 earthquakes.
Wow.
So he's one step ahead of you on the bucket list.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's devastating for people, and obviously I don't love that aspect of like death and destruction, but I just love watching a cyclone. No, I don't think it was big enough for anyone to get hurt.
Yeah.
But I just love, watching a tornado or,
Remember that movie?
Maybe this is a bit much. I don't know.
I think
there'll be some people out there who agree with me and go, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Like love a natural disaster.
I would rather not have a natural disaster happen,
but
to be honest.
Of course I would rather not have that as well. And I obviously don't want anyone to get hurt or die or anything like that. But I will say I'm fascinated by tsunamis and those end of the world movies as well. The Day After Tomorrow, they've got that big mega tsunami, the earthquakes, the earth opens up, all those like end of the world movies, apocalypse style movies where like the world is getting destroyed.
Yeah.
Oh, gets me off. Love those.
It does scare me that earthquake just happened and the fact that could happen at any time and we could be here right now and there could be a massive earthquake and like the ground outside could just split in half and that could be it.
But it's so weird because in Australia it doesn't really happen because we're like on a tectonic plate, right? Whereas earthquakes are from 2 tectonic plates like sliding together, right?
Yeah, I remember
whereas
learning
we're like
about this in primary school.
One.
And you see the diagram and it's like this.
Yeah,
like,
so it's rare, but it's happened.
And it could.
Yeah. I feel bad for what I've said now. I feel bad because like there'd be people who have probably experienced it. Like, yeah, no, because people have lost their houses in floods and fires in Australia, haven't they? And see, I don't care about those.
Yeah.
Like those natural disasters. No, then like I'm talking twisters. I'm talking even earthquakes. Not really that fascinated. I'm talking twisters and tsunamis. There's just something about them for me. Everything else.
What you mean?
Do you know what I mean? Like I'm trying.
I used to love that movie when we were kids. They were the storm chasers.
Yeah.
And they would drive
Twister.
out. Yeah, and they would drive out in that. That's a really good movie if anyone
There's
hasn't
just
seen
a
it.
new one that came out a couple months ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And they chase after the storms and get really close to the eye of it.
Sky wants to do that. Sky wants to go to America and you can pay for a storm chasing tour for like 10 to 12 days, and it's during cyclone season, and you actually fly over and you're on like tour with them, like in a Kentucky bus, but probably like something a bit faster, and you actually go and you go right into the eye of the storm.
It would be cool to see.
Yeah. And
But
he asked
also,
if I
like,
want to go with him, and I was like, oh,
What if your fucking minibus
I don't
gets...
love him that much.
What if your minibus gets swept up in the fucking middle of the cyclone?
I'm just thinking, what fucking waiver are you signing to go on that tour? You know what I mean? Like, is he signing his life away? I'm like, bloody hell, babe. I hope you got your will sorted before you go in.
Oh my God, speaking of that, do you have a will?
No, and I know.
Okay, so
I know.
I'm going to get my will done. I've contacted my solicitor because I'm like, as I'm getting older, I've got more and more things happening in my life that are worth a little bit of money. AJ and I are going like any day now to get our will done. So I'll update you all when I'm done.
I want to know how much it cost, what the process was, how long it took, how hard it was. Give us all that information.
Yeah.
Because, yes, I know that I should do it.
Everyone needs to do it. And I even said to AJ, I want to make like a couple of reels out of this process to kind of encourage everyone to go and do it.
Yeah.
Especially like in my scenario, I won't say much, but with my businesses and then my family, like I could see that turning really fucking ugly.
Yeah.
And I could see that turning really ugly for AJ. So I'm wanting to go there and secure my fucking assets.
Yeah, for sure. See, that's the thing. I don't have any. So it's like, what's in the will? Like, you can transfer the couple $1,000s to someone else and call it a day.
But
you know what I
isn't that
mean?
horrible? Like, AJ and I have been having these conversations literally in the last 2 weeks, ever since we decided we're going to do this. Like, how sad it is that when people do die, and if there is things like we've been talking about, like what would happen with fate, what would happen with this and that, what would happen with our money in the bank, and how it could turn so ugly. And like my whole family, I could see people in my family like going after AJ and fate. I hate to say that.
Yeah.
But we've been speaking about that being a reality and how fucked that would be, and the fact that AJ would have basically no say in it kind of thing, even though he fucking runs fate with me.
Yeah.
Isn't that fucked? And how nasty people get about money when someone has literally died.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure, though, even if you write a will, like, people can contest it, which is fucked.
And even then, like, you go and do this thing and then people can still fight over it. I'm just going to, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to tell you all after I've done it and how it went.
Well, can you put something in there for me? Like, I don't need much.
Yeah.
I don't want heaps of money. I don't need a business, but just like something fucking random and funny.
One of the girls at work said
Pair
to
of
me, can I please have your perfume collection? And I'm like, sure. I talked to her about, she's like, can I have your perfumes? I'm like, yeah. So I literally want to put that on there, that she gets the fucking perfumes.
Yeah.
You can have, AJ's got 2 pairs of thongs actually.
Yeah, nice. I'll have those.
Yeah.
Well, but AJ has to die for that.
Oh, true.
Yeah. So
No,
it's
even if
sticky
I die,
situation.
you get AJ's thongs.
Okay, yeah, nice.
I wonder if you can put stuff as stupid as that on your will.
Hopefully.
I'm going to ask...
Because don't forget, there'd be really, like, in quotations, stupid things that are, like, really sentimental to people.
Yeah.
So, you know, there'd be things on there. They'd have the most random things on there
Well, I'll keep you updated. And I'll see how far I can go with the craziness of putting stupid shit on
the
there.
most random thing you can find.
Yeah.
To, all right, hey, I give my toilet brush.
So you want the V fridge?
Oh, yeah, give me the V fridge. Give me the V fridge, thanks. That's what I'll have.
I'm so interested to do this. Like, I'm really looking forward to it. Like, especially being in my scenario with all the businesses and all our stuff and, like, everything. So I'll keep you all updated with how that goes. And go sort your wills out. It's just one of those things that you just need to do. As grim as it is to discuss, we need to try and get it done.
All right, time for our Royal Flush of the Week, best thing we've seen on the internet. And I have something so fun. As I have stated before on this podcast, the customer actually is not always right. And I think we're in an era... I think we're in an era where, like if I was to work in, like, you know, retail or fast food like I used to, being the person I am today, I don't think that I could just take it like I used to and be like, yeah, no worries. I'd be like, fuck off, love. Get over yourself and move on. I really couldn't do it these days. So props to anyone who does work in those industries or any industry where you just have to put up with people's bullshit. Now, I saw a Facebook post the other day from Herbert's, which is a restaurant in Texas. It's a Mexican restaurant. And there was a Facebook post by someone named Susan. She wrote in, basically like a community group, you know, like your ticks and crosses and, you know, just community notice boards in Facebook groups. She wrote this post about her terrible experience at Herbert's and said, "My husband loves their food, so we go often. 3 weeks ago, we took my nephew there for lunch. We all had the lunch special and a medium queso. Our bill was $54. This was before their price increase. I was told that's just how much it is. I was not given an itemized bill. We went back today, arrived, placed our lunch special order, and our bill was $28. When I questioned it, I was told we were too early to get the special price. The order was submitted at 10:58 a.m. I told the cashier that was bullshit because it took a waiter a while to acknowledge us, and then a few more minutes before he took our drinks order. Then he finally..." Oh, she spelled everything wrong here. Basically, what she's saying is she went in to get the lunch special and she believes that she got the lunch special at the lunch special time, which I'm assuming starts at 11 a.m. She thinks that she had her lunch during that time. So she posted in that Facebook group, and obviously people are commenting and getting on her side because they've only heard her side of the story, right? Well, the restaurant, Herbert's, has done the most iconic thing I have ever seen, and they have actually posted the security footage of this woman's visit to the Mexican restaurant with timestamps in the corner and explains her entire visit. She actually shows up at 10:51. She's greeted and sat down at 10:51. They've put all these timestamps on this video. 10:52, she gets her chips and salsa and the food and drink order is taken. 10:54, the drinks are delivered. 10:58, the food is delivered. And then at 11:22, an itemized receipt is delivered with a to-go drink. 11:23, she pays for it. And then they've actually included footage of her complaining about not getting the lunch special, which starts at 11 a.m. and she had got her food by 10:58, so she hasn't ordered in the correct time. They actually then posted footage, because she's complained about how much she paid, they posted footage saying, "We actually did give you the lunch special because you yelled at our service staff, and here's video evidence of us processing your lunch special even though you didn't order within the time."
So they honoured it even though she wasn't in the time frame,
yes,
because she complained anyway.
No, but then she went online and complained and lied and said they didn't honour the lunch special and they got such bad service and blah, 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 blah. It's gone so viral. There are news articles about this everywhere. On behalf of High Scrollers, first of all, fuck you, Susan. And second of all, imagine being Susan and going to that length to be such a Karen that you put it in a Facebook group, and now look at the response. I went, first of all, iconic on the restaurant's part.
Yeah, from my standpoint too, Matt, I thought I would add, there have been, I mean, it's very far and few between that we get like a bad customer at Fate. I think that comes down to our community. Like, we have an awesome community. Our customers are fucking legends. But like, once in a blue moon, we have dealt with like a nasty kind of situation, and we do the same thing. Like, not that we've ever shared it on social media, but every time something happens and someone contacts us complaining or whatever, I'll always jump on our cameras, because I don't think people think like our stores are covered like by cameras. We can see every interaction.
Yeah.
And I've jumped on our cameras before and like watched back to see if the interaction is what the customer says, and you diet how often the customer is wrong in that scenario, and that they were helped and they were greeted, but they go, "I wasn't even greeted," and then we watch back the footage and it's like they got said hello to as soon as they walked in the door. They just twist the narrative to suit whatever they're frustrated about. Why do people do that?
I don't know. I think it's all about your attitude as well. Like, I remember when I would work in retail and things like that, customers would almost come in wanting a fight or wanting a bad experience in a way.
100%.
Like, it felt like some people would come in and be like, "Hi, how you going? Oh my gosh, yes, I'm looking for this." And some people would be like, "Do you have this?"
Yeah.
And it's like, why are you rude, lover? We barely know each other. What's going on? So I feel like some people like also walk in, and also, Britt, like in your position, without like, I don't want to offend you when I say this, but I feel like people would walk into Fate wanting to have a bad experience to be like, "Fuck Brittney Saunders." You know what I mean? Like, there'd be people wanting to go in and find all the problems just to be like, "Oh, it's not as good as, you know, what she puts on the internet." Like,
I couldn't agree more. And I very much know that now, that there is that personal association between me and Fate and the business and consumers as well. And I've been doing it for long enough now that I can tell when someone's doing it for that reaction or whatever, and I've learned to actually not give a fuck about that, because I know at the end of the day, not everyone's going to love Fate. The same way not everyone loves Cotton On. Like, the amount of times I've gone into Cotton On, tried shit on and gone, "Yeah, that's fucking ugly." But then I have heaps of other Cotton On stuff that I like, and I think people can often get it twisted or have the lines blurred and think that because I am this public figure and own this brand that everything should be perfect for them because I've made it or something. It's like, no, like I'm not going to be able to make a pair of jeans that every single person loves. But then because there is that personal connection with me, they might be more likely to say, yeah, it was shit. You know, whereas like, fuck, I'll go back to Cotton On, but some things in there I've tried on and it's horrendous.
Yeah, for sure.
It just is the way that it is.
For sure. Well, I feel like if you ever want to start calling out customers, I'll support you in that.
There has been some times where I'm like, I want to fucking, like, especially if they've gone like public and written bad reviews and whatever, and I've got the video evidence right there.
Yeah.
But even if they reach out to us and like, yeah, this happened, blah, 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 like I've received some horrible emails that like we once had, I don't want to, fuck it, it's the corner of the internet here. We can talk about whatever we want. Yeah. Not recently, maybe in the last like 3 months, so maybe recently, I had this email sent from a girl who wrote an email on behalf of her and all of her friends that had come into our Newcastle store and visited the cafe next door, like our cafe, and she had not a single nice thing to say about anything.
Yeah.
She's like, we walked in, it was horrible, we didn't get say hello to, like every single thing. Like she just said the most horrible thing about every detail of our store and the experience, and then I went to the cafe and the people were rude, the coffee was cold, like it was just obvious that like you just set out to fucking do this in the first place. And AJ and I sat there pissing ourselves watching the footage. Like they walked in, they all had their arms crossed, they were looking through the rack like ugh, like, you know, like you set yourself up for that. And I so just want to like be an asshole in that scenario and just say, well, fucking don't ever come back again then. Like, you set out to hate and shit on everything that I do.
Yeah.
But joke's on them. They spent money at Outdo. Like, I won in that scenario. And all I wrote back, like, again, because, like, I genuinely care. And if someone has had a bad experience, we will want to resolve that for them. Like, we will want to issue them an apology and invite them back in, you know, if they have genuinely had a terrible experience. But being able to go and look at the footage and then see what actually happened, it doesn't make me want to apologize or welcome them back in. So I just sent back a blanket response like, thank you so much for your feedback. And then I love saying, I've gone through your visit at Outdo and Fate and had a look at everything that's happened. And I didn't say sorry or anything in the email because I'm like, I'm not fucking saying sorry to you when you came in with that intention.
Yeah.
So yeah, being able to look at the cameras is just fucking gold.
That's what I mean about people just coming in with like an attitude.
Yeah,
like,
and
I feel like your attitude affects your environment and your experience in life. And so if you go into something not happy or whatever you want to call that,
that's going to be your exact experience.
Exactly.
And I love the camera thing because I love just being able to say like, I've thoroughly reviewed, and they'd go, oh fuck, because then they know I've seen everything in the conversation. And
if they've inflated anything or slipped a little
imagine them going,
white
oh
lie.
Shit, they can watch what happened.
Yeah.
Anyway, they spent money on coffee and pastries, so that's a win for me.
Well, what's your royal flush of the week, Joe?
Well, I've got a game.
Oh, another game. Good. I love games. Yeehaw.
No, you would actually love this game, Matt.
Okay.
And you all have to play it. Do you remember when we were in high school and you would get on those game websites like miniclip.com? Like, do you remember playing games on those websites?
Yeah.
And you would go on, there's just like hundreds of games to pick from, and you'd play like the doll dress-up games. Like, I don't know, Barbie Makeover and Bratz, whatever. Well, there's this new game. Well, I don't know how new it is, but it's called Dress to Impress.
Okay.
And you play it on Roblox. For any of you that don't know what that is,
Never
it's like
played that.
an online server, and it is predominantly a kids like server and game. You can play all sorts of games on there. Anyway, it's free and you need to play Dress to Impress on there. I saw Dress to Impress coming up on my TikTok. Maybe you've seen it. Okay, I'll explain how the game goes. It's me reliving my childhood through this game, right? So you're in this online server. Everyone that's playing is online and you're this little avatar and you're like blank at the start. And then you go into this waiting room, you enter the game, and there is a theme up the top. And the themes are really cool. Like right now there's all like Brat themes for Charlie XCX.
Oh, yeah.
So you'll get like Brat Summer, Coquette, like all different themes. And then you go into this like big room that's like a beauty salon, a nail salon, a hair salon, and then there's all wardrobes and clothes around, and you're this blank little avatar, and you've got 5 minutes and there's a countdown. You then fully dress up your character in the theme, and you look all slay at the end, and then there's a catwalk at the end. So each character walks down the runway. Have you seen these clips on TikTok? Oh, you need to look it up. Even just look up Dress to Impress on TikTok. And then there's a catwalk at the end. You all walk down and do a pose at the end, and then you vote, like out of 5 stars. You rate each other's outfit. And then at the end, it's like a first, second, and third place. And then it starts all again.
And that's literally it.
But it's actually fun. Like, if you want something like therapeutic to do, it makes you be creative, because there's so many like outfits and whatever, and the themes are really crazy. Like, what are some of the other themes? Like, movie character, TV star, like you can dress up as whoever, celebrities, whatever. It's really fun, like a creative little outlet, and you just download Roblox on your laptop, and it's so fun. So that's...
I'll take your word for it.
Okay, if I know you don't really...
Is this what you were doing when you had insomnia all night? You were just playing Roblox?
No! I discovered this
Your
after
brain's
that.
just going 100 miles an hour going, oh, what theme's coming next? What outfit should I pick?
It's actually so fun.
How am I going to get 5 points?
Go and look up Dress to Impress. Even just look it up on TikTok, everyone, because it's so fun. And it's like taking me back to my childhood playing those dress-up games online. Oh. But it's just better. And
do you have to pay for it?
No, it's free. Oh. You can pay if you want the VIP, because then there's this other room that you can go into that has more like outfits. And the outfits and the clothes and the shoes, the accessories, it's all like... slay.
Right.
Yeah. You need to look it up, Dress to Impress.
Okay. Reminds me of like that Kim Kardashian game. Remember the Kim Kardashian game?
Yes, it's very much like that, but even better. I used to play that game.
Really?
What was it called? Was it just Kim Kardashian
Hollywood or something? Yeah.
I spent some money on that thing.
Oh, did you? Oh, you know what?
Did you?
Well, yeah. Okay. So I think I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again because it's so good. So I was going through my bank statements one time, this is many years ago now, and I could see all these charges from Apple, and I was like, I haven't bought anything from Apple or on the App Store or anything like that, and I ended up calling Apple to be like, what are all these charges? And they're going, oh, we're not sure, this could be fraudulent activity on your account. And I'm going, well, what's going on? I need to shut this down, please. You need to help me out here. I want to get a refund for all these charges. And he's going, okay, well, let me look into this, blah, blah, blah. He's like, are you sure you haven't, paid any of, you haven't, bought any of this stuff? And I'm going, no, there's no way I would have, I'm not stupid enough. I'm not stupid enough to be spending money on things on the App Store. I've never bought anything on the App Store because I haven't. I'm one of those people still to this day, rarely purchase anything on the App Store. Hate if it's a game and it's like, pay this to like get a million coins. There's no way I'm doing that. And even things like when you get a free trial and then it's like, to unlock all the features, like in fact CapCut, the video editing software that we use for like TikTok. So TikTok like told us all to use CapCut, so we all went over to CapCut because that's where all the features were. They used to be in TikTok, and then they made TikTok really basic editing, and we're like, use CapCut. So I went over to CapCut. I've been using that for a while, and you could do everything. Well, now they've got CapCut Pro, and it's however much money a month, and you can't even add captions to your videos without paying for the Pro, which is however much money a month. And I find that, first of all, so ableist and discriminatory, because how dare you not let me put captions on my videos for people who are hard of hearing or deaf? First of all, not acceptable in my eyes for them to have to charge to put captions. That's absolutely povo. That's Dero-as. Like, come on. No, I'm not even kidding.
I've got an actual life hack for you and for everyone.
Yeah.
On this topic, on my other podcast, Big Business, I had Victoria Devine on from She's on the Money, and she gave me a life hack when it comes to subscriptions. If you ever want to sign up to something that is a subscription, and you know how usually they'll have a free trial, like just say a month free trial, and then you start getting charged. But if it's something that you're not sure if you want to keep paying for, but you know how easily we forget about those subscriptions, and then you don't realise and you're paying all these subscriptions. She said, go to Coles or Woolies or wherever, or Servos, and buy a gift card. You know how you can buy gift cards that are like $10?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a Visa gift card thing.
Yeah.
She's like, use that to sign up to your free subscriptions so that when the free subscription runs out, it'll charge that. And then if it has no money left on it, it'll just like cancel the subscription automatically.
Nice.
So then you don't have to worry about your actual card getting charged the monthly fee.
So you know what I do? I sign up for the free trial and cancel it straight away.
Well, this is in case you forget to do that. Like, that was a good hack from her.
Yeah, it is a good hack if
Yeah.
you forget to do that. But if I sign up to any free trial, 30 days, 7 days, whatever it may be.
You just cancel it immediately.
I sign up and then cancel immediately.
And they give you the month still to
They
use
still
it.
give you the month to use it. So then when the month runs out, it runs out. And then if I really have enjoyed and used the product or the service or whatever it may be, I will sign up again. But that's my little hack on the same wavelength. But anyway, CapCut can get stuff because they're not giving us captions. I think that's so rude. I think all the other features, or,
Sure.
you know, even
Yep.
changing the captions to fancy writing and things like that, sure. But like basic captions, that's just rude and not on, in my opinion. Anyway, hate when they, you know, so what I'm trying to say is I barely ever pay for that sort of stuff. So this guy on the phone's like, oh, well, you sure? I said, I am telling you, there's no way that I have spent that money. He goes, have you by any chance been playing the Kim Kardashian Hollywood game? I went, I'm so sorry to waste your time. Have a fabulous day. And I hung up because I was like, oh my God, I literally have. I'd totally forgotten because I was so, I mean, that game was like gambling, you know. Now I understand gambling addicts that you know, in the casinos, and you can't see, because I'd play it late at night, no lights are on. You couldn't see the time on the app. Like the time wasn't on the app so that you'd spend more time on the app.
Yeah.
And so then I was just in a hole going, oh, well, I may as well get
And
that fancy outfit for $34.99. And
with that Kim Kardashian game, was the reason why we would always pay for it because you'd have to wait. Like, you know, you'd get to the end of a chapter and then it'd be like 4 hours and it would like count down until you could play it again. But then but if you buy these coins and diamonds, you can fast forward and skip this 4 hour break.
And I think the thing as well is that it was all in American dollars on the app, but then it charged, which I think is where I was confused to begin with the whole charges on my bank statement, because, you know, it was like $9.99 on the Kim Kardashian app, but then it was like $15.44 on my bank statement. And I'm going, I haven't spent $15 on anything. But realistically, it was just like the conversion rate. So yeah, I got sucked into the Kim Kardashian game and I spent like, I'm not even kidding, like around $600 on the Kim Kardashian. So Kim, you're welcome. Send me a few Skims or a Beats headphones, please.
She made a killing out of that. Well, my recommendation is everyone download Roblox on your laptop. It's good to play on the laptop.
Okay.
It's free and just play Dress to Impress.
Can you play with each other? Like, I'd love to get on with you.
You can join because it's online.
We'll
you can invite your friend and play together, and you can do the catwalk together.
Okay.
So you can do clever costumes together on the theme, like Little Mermaid and you're Ariel and I'm fucking Flounder.
Oh my God. I feel it's more you're Ariel and I'm Ursula.
Okay, we will do that. But anyway, if you love a dress-up game and if you love those kind of games when you're a kid, you're going to love Dress to Impress. Just look it up on TikTok and see some of the videos. It's slay. Matt, you would like it.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
I'll take your word for it.
Well, I don't know about you, Matt, but my whole FYP over the last week has been Christina Aguilera.
Yes, same.
Aguilera. She slays right now.
I've always loved her.
Yeah, me too. She's always been slaying, but people have obviously been chatting about her and how all of a sudden she looks exactly the same as she did when she was 18 and 19 in those like Genie in a Bottle days.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I loved that back then. Like, I remember buying her single for Genie in a Bottle and being obsessed with the music video.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, all of a sudden, Christina Aguilera looks like she's been in a time capsule and looks the same. And there has been so much discourse online in regards to what has she had done.
Yeah.
And I always find this so interesting when this happens because I see like plastic surgeons like stitching videos and being like, it looks like she's had this, that, and the other. And what I want to know is, like, I get it. I understand people's obsession with wanting to know these things. But at the same time, I'm like, why? Why is there so much obsession over like wanting to know what celebrities have had done?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
And it goes back to, again, my whole thing of like, why are we commenting on other people's bodies? I'm so bored. I can't be bothered. Yes.
But there's like an obsession and an infatuation with it online, like wanting to know. She looks great, but like I think she's always been fucking stunning.
I think the reason that people are so obsessed with it is because I think, like, for Christina Aguilera, if she's, I don't know how old, like,
she's only 42 or something.
Right.
Like, that's the other thing too. People are like, she looks crazy. It's like she was never 70 and then gone back to looking 20. Like,
Yeah.
she's young.
I think as well, like, no matter what she's done, it's probably unachievable for the average person. So, like, I think that they're, like, trying to see what she's done to see if it's achievable for them to do it, but in no realm is it going to be achievable, if that makes sense. Like,
yeah.
Christina
I feel like celebrities
Aguilera,
probably have access to things that, like, no
we
one...
don't,
Yeah,
and we
no one
never
else
will.
does.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
it's probably some top secret fucking lab that they do something crazy.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, the other thing as well is, like, I know people who have gotten facelifts, and the you can tell because there's some scarring behind the ear or above the ear and things like that, because they've gotten the facelift, and you can see where they've kind of stitched the face back together. Whereas, like, you know, I don't know any of this, but, like, let's just say that costs $10,000 to get that facelift here in Australia with random doctor XYZ. Like, Christina Aguilera is probably paying $1 million for the same procedure because that doctor can hide that scar so well that no one will know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, like, even if you were to go and get a facelift, just like Christina Aguilera did, not saying she did, but let's just say she did.
Yep.
If you went and got it, you could probably have a totally different experience anyway.
Yeah.
Because it's not only is it, if you did achieve the same surgery, you may not achieve the same results because the doctors that they're going to would literally be, I would assume.
This is what I always wonder.
the
Like,
best
do you
in the
think
world.
do you think celebrities have access to, like, surgeons and stuff that only service, like, the elites?
I reckon.
Like,
surely.
And imagine the NDAs that, like,
Yeah.
everyone there would have to sign. Because obviously when you're going into surgery, you've got the plastic surgeon, which is the one doing it. But then there's all the nurses, the anaesthetists, which I never know how to say. How do you say that word?
Anesthesia. I don't know.
Anaesthetist?
I don't know. But also, my biggest thing is, like, how fun. I mean, I don't know what kind of surgeries these celebrities are having, but I think it's so funny that, like, you know, Christina Aguilera made, like, let's say she did go and have surgery for whatever. Like, I'm going, someone had to put her catheter in. You
That's
know
what
I
I'm
mean?
saying. And,
like,
like, Christina Aguilera's just asleep on the table and you're there like, this is Christina Aguilera.
Imagine being that nurse being like, oh, just got to pop that in there. Wow.
But they would have to sign so many things to say they are not to
And
tell
how
a
could
soul.
you not? Because, I mean, that's a great dinner party story. I mean, I've had to clean Kim Kardashian's shit when she had a baby, you know, because everyone poos when they have a baby, don't they? So imagine Kim Kardashian pushing out a kid and a turd, and you've got to be the nurse. You've got to be the nurse to wipe Kim Kardashian's poo off her when she's having her kids. I mean,
Humbling experience for a celebrity.
it's a great dinner party story.
I couldn't agree
So,
more.
yeah, but I get what you're saying. Like, it's, again, just goes back to that discourse of everyone just wanting to, and I'm so fucking sick of it. I hate talking about it. I can't be bothered.
Yeah.
She looks good. She doesn't look good. Who cares? Let's move on. She is putting on some great performances, though.
Yeah, she's like,
Yeah.
I feel like she's always been doing music, but I feel like she, like, had her obviously massive breakthrough debut when she was, a teenager. And then it was like Moulin Rouge, like, you know, all that kind of stuff. And then I feel like she kind of went into the back, not completely disappeared, but for ages. And now I feel like she's having her comeback,
Yeah.
which I love.
Yeah, me too. I know we've kind of spoken about it before, but what have and haven't you had done plastic surgery wise?
Well,
Because you've never had your lips done, which is a big mythbuster online. Like, a lot of people
I
say
feel
that
like
you've...
that's gone now. I feel like I used to get hate for that back in the YouTubey days.
Yeah, okay.
But maybe now I think people might just think I have lip filler and that is
And
what it
they
is. Because
don't care.
everyone does.
Right, okay.
But no, I've never had anything done to my face.
So no Botox?
None.
But you did go through your little eyeliner tattoo, remember?
Yeah, I had an eyeliner tattoo when I was 17 in Thailand. That's a bit fucking dangerous.
Fucking
now that I-
random, like an eyeliner tattoo.
And lucky, it was only like at the thinnest line, literally like along my lash line. Because
Yeah.
I've seen some people that it got like a full wing.
Yeah.
And then it like fades and goes blue like a normal tattoo. So that fully faded off. I've had my eyebrows tattooed, which is mainly all faded now.
I'm surprised you haven't got any Botox or anything.
Nah, I'm
Not
trying
that
to
I
just
think you
stretch
need
it
but-
out.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
I might get it when I'm a bit older or whatever, but nah, I feel like I've been fortunate with my skin, like
Yeah.
good genetics.
Yeah.
So I'm happy about that. Nothing in my face yet. But I think even if I was to get stuff done, like I've had people over the years say like, you've got your lips done, you've got this done, you've got that done. I'm like, if I got anything done to my face, I would just like document it. I put it on my story, like I'd make content out of it.
Yeah.
But I did have actually one major plastic surgery and then I got it reversed. Have I spoke about this on High Scrollers before?
No, I don't think so.
Well,
if you're talking about your tits.
So back in our YouTube days, Matt, I don't know if you remember, you probably do, it became quite literally a trend for beauty gurus to get a boob job.
And some doctors, or whatever you call the people who surgeons, would actually do like a sponsored, like, we'll give you free boobs. We'll do a free boob job if you promote it to your followers.
I don't think that would happen these days.
No,
but back
you
then,
couldn't
like,
get away with that.
Some beauty gurus literally would go on a trip to get their tits done and be fucking #sponsored implants.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, back in those YouTubey days, so when I was in my late teens and early 20s, I saw everyone getting tit jobs. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, let's even say who did it. Loz Curtis, Shan XO, Carissa Poukas. Mm-hmm. Saturday Night's Alright. Remember her YouTube was that? I remember seeing those three getting their boobs done, and that's what made me think I want to get it done too.
Okay.
It was literally a fucking trend. And then I had like smaller boobs, and I don't know, just seeing all these, and like overseas American beauty gurus too. And they'd all do like breast update, vlog #1, post-op, blah, blah. I just became obsessed with it.
Yeah.
So it was always on my mind from those days. And then I don't remember how old I was when I eventually got them, but it was just before I got with AJ. So maybe it was 8 years ago. And I didn't do the fucking sponsored thing or whatever. But I went and got them actually done by a plastic surgeon in Newcastle, where I'm from. Did my research, found the surgeon, blah, blah, blah. And looking back, I just think, like, what the fuck was I doing? I was like, what the fuck was I doing? Why did I think I needed to get that done? So I got it done, and mind you, like, the surgeon did an amazing job. Like, they looked great, but it's like as soon as I had my boobs done, I all of a sudden just had something switch in my brain where I thought, why have I done this? It's not because they looked bad, like they looked good. And then I got with AJ, and so he'd never been with me or known me before I had them, kind of thing. And all of a sudden I just felt like I hated them. Like, even though they looked great and I couldn't explain it to anyone, I'd be saying to AJ, I hate them. Like, I just felt like they weren't a part of me or something. I don't know. I feel like I just had to get the implants to realize that I've fucked up and I liked myself the way that I was before. Mm-hmm. And so for the next like 2 years, I had these boob implants and they looked great. That's the weird thing. Like, they looked great, but I didn't want them anymore, kind of thing. And then I felt too bad to like go back to the surgeon to say like, I love these, like they look great, but I don't feel right with this on my or in my body. Mm-hmm. But I eventually did. And then I went and got them taken out by the same surgeon. I felt terrible, like explaining to him, like, you've done a great job, but something inside of me is just saying I shouldn't have done this.
Yeah.
And it was at that point where I actually shared those thoughts on my social media, because I had shared that I'd gotten them, kind of thing. And then I guess I felt like an idiot for that as well, that I'd shared this journey of getting boob implants. But then I just went, fuck it, and I shared my thoughts surrounding, like, I regret this. And what surprised me was the amount of women that reached out to me saying I have them too, or like I've gotten something else done, like a nose job or whatever, and I feel exactly the same. And lucky for me, like, that was something that I got done that could be reversed. Mm-hmm. You can't really reverse a nose job or something that is more like permanent change. And so I went and I got them taken out. So I had them for like 2.5 years or something. And like, I just felt $1 million as soon as I walked out of that explant surgery. It was just the weirdest period in my life. And like, I look back and I'm like, why the fuck did I do that? But I just had to do it to learn that I was fine the way that I was before.
Yeah.
A very expensive venture at that.
How much did it cost for import and export?
Import.
Was that what it's called? Implant? Yeah, sorry, implant and explant.
Import and export.
Well, you know, same fucking deal.
We're not shipping containers around here. It's different everywhere that you go. Like, and this was, 8 years ago now. So I think like getting them done, it was over 10 grand, and then like same on the export. Like, it's the same because it's the same.
So basically, you wasted 20 grand. Well, you didn't, because everything in life is either a blessing or a lesson. And you
Exactly
learned
right.
the lesson. It cost you 20 grand to learn the fucking lesson.
Oh, yeah.
But you learned the lesson that you don't need to enhance, yourself to love yourself. And I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah, and I felt like a fucking idiot because I'd become friends with the practice manager of the plastic surgeons. And luckily, like the only way that this whole explant or export happened was I had been speaking to Wade, who is my good friend and he owns a hair salon in Newcastle. I'd been whinging to him for years that I don't feel right with these in me. And luckily, the practice manager had gone in to get her hair done by Wade because I would never have the balls to say to the plastic surgeon's place, like, can we reverse this?
Yeah.
But thankfully, my friend Wade just randomly brought it up when she was getting her hair done. Like he just said to her, oh, it's like Brittney with her boobs and wanting to get them out kind of thing. And I was like, Wade, why did you fucking say that? But at the same time, thank you so much because then she contacted me and said, what the fuck? Like, why haven't you contacted me? And I was like, I'm too scared to say I don't like this anymore.
Yeah, right.
So shout out to Wade because I would still have them if he didn't say anything. So yeah, that's my little story on plastic surgery. And I'm here to advocate for changing your mind about things.
Mm-hmm. And also, I think as we move further into life, I think, as I said, never want to comment on anyone's bodies. I don't care what you do with your body or what choices you make. As long as you're happy at the end of the day, that's what I feel should be most important. So if you have to do things to change yourself to make yourself happy or to at least try and make yourself happy because that's what you thought you were doing.
I know. And then it's like, wait, this isn't it.
Like, I'm like, absolutely go for it to land wherever you need to land, to just be satisfied and happy with who you are. Because I, as I've said before, have been on my own journey with that as well. And once you get to that place, like, it's so rewarding. But what I will say is that I think we're moving into a timeline of actually embracing your natural self. And remember, we were talking on this podcast about Pamela Anderson, going makeup free and showing her age and showing the lines and the skin. And
it just really shows you that everything is kind of a trend as well. Like, I feel like people still obviously get breast implants now, but I feel like that was a really big trend like back in those days. And then I feel like maybe 5 years ago or 4 years ago, BBLs were the thing to get. And I feel like I'm seeing less and less of that now. And what I'm seeing now is, come with me to get my lip filler dissolved. Like, I'm seeing so much of that. So everything is a trend. So my advice to anyone out there is if you are considering getting something done, like, have a really good think about it and speak with people about it. I just went on a whim, like, yep, I'm going to go get them done now. I didn't really talk to anyone about it, but like, have a think. Is this something that I actually really want to do? Am I just jumping on a trend? Am I trying to fill a void in my life that maybe a pair of implants isn't going to fill? Like, I think you need to like really think about it, especially if it is one that's kind of irreversible. Because I'm all for like, do whatever the fuck you want with your body and your face and whatever, but also just like take your time with it and don't jump into it because you very well could regret it like I did.
And I would love to see Christina Aguilera embrace the natural. As I said, it's hard for me to talk about this because I'm like, do whatever you want to do, don't really care. But also I'm like, imagine how empowering it would be to see her with no work done and no lip filler and, whatever. We don't know what she's gotten done. But I mean, as you said, she looks 20 years younger than she is, which good on her. Love that for her. I think like we're moving into that new era of like embracing your age, or maybe it's just because I'm getting older. Maybe the kids are still getting all the BBLs.
And maybe that's why people get so mad about it as well, because maybe back to the conversation about how celebrities have this access to things that we simply never will. Maybe it comes from a place of spite of like, why does she get to look 20 years old when I'm also 43 and I feel like I'm aging? And you know how everyone, like society, like makes us think that aging's terrible and you look ugly and whatever. But I fucking put up a story of AJ on Saturday night. We went out for dinner. I did a little photo of him at the table and you can see all his grey hairs all around and everyone was messaging me going, silver fox, silver fox. I'm like, why does he get called a silver fucking fox? But then I feel like women, if you got some grey hair, people are like, oh, you're a grandma.
Yeah.
Society's
men,
cooked.
Babe. Men, patriarchy. We don't have time and this is not the podcast for this. So let's wrap this shit up. You want to say your line?
Yeah, it's another episode done and dusted.
Yeah, thanks for listening, scrollers. We love ya. And by the way, we didn't even mention, because it's been weeks since we actually won the award.
It's
People's Choice Radio Today Award.
We won.
We fucking won. So thanks for voting for us.
Celebration noises.
Yay. I think the problem was I was away, you were away in Bali, then you were away last week. And so we won the award weeks ago, but we actually haven't spoken about it. Thank you for voting for us. Now, we actually have another one that we're up for, and this one's actually like a really, really big deal.
Is this
the other one was a big
that
deal.
I got this morning?
Yeah. So we are up for the Australian Podcast Awards, People's Choice as well. And this one we would really, really, really love to win, because I'm pretty sure the Radio Today one, they just announced us as a winner. But the Australian Podcast Awards, that is like a big night that you go to, you dress up, and we get up and do an acceptance speech if we win. Like, I just think that's in our destiny.
Getting up on a stage and accepting any kind of award is my biggest fear, because if there is stairs involved, I am going headfirst down them.
Oh.
That's a fear of mine.
That's fine. I'll do all the talking. I'll go up for us. You just stand wherever you'd like to stand.
I stand at the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah, just stand at the bottom of the stairs. I'll go up and take the moment. I mean, it's all about me. So we'd love for you to vote for us. So if you get the chance today, please, we'll put a link in the show notes, and also we'll remind you on our social media and stuff, so look out for that.
Which, by the way, Matt, today, before we leave, can we make our broadcast channel?
Yes, I did tell Hannah before we started.
We're going to make a broadcast channel.
So right now you can go to our Instagram profiles and join the Scrollers group chat, which is where Brittney and I will both be in the broadcast channel, causing absolute chaos, and all of you can be in the broadcast channel as well. And if it lets us, I'm not sure whether you have to kind of like have your broadcast channel for a little bit or not, but you can now reply.
Yeah, you've got that feature and I don't yet. I'm so annoyed. But maybe if you make the channel, then we will be able to do that. We need to do that before we go. We'll
do that before we go today. And so you can join the broadcast channel if you want. The link to vote for us will be one of the first things we post in there. Anyway, Dal, I better let you go. I'm just in time for the lunch special.